Hello and welcome to the conversation on Lagos Television. I am Ajibola Ojeshola.
Good morning, everyone. I am Adibimpe Omotayo.
Good morning. I am Joy Olu. Welcome to the conversation.
Do you know Ajibola?
All right, before we go to our news points, Adibimpe and Joy, power supply these days is becoming something else. Except if where I live is different.
No, Ajibola. I even thought it was an Ikeja electric issue, but it seems to be
a
general issue. Everybody is complaining now, and I'm saying that is Ikeja Disco trying to, punish us all for the invasion of their office, or did they destroy some equipment there that is affecting this low power supply? Anyway, these are some of the things we will discuss on the side of the conversation this morning.
Okay, quickly we'll go to our news point for today. We are starting from Rivers State. Rivers logjam. No truce yet between Fubara and lawmakers. There's no truce yet between Rivers State Governor Sim Fubara and the House of Assembly over the implementation of the Supreme Court judgment. Yesterday, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu asked the governor to implement the Supreme Court judgment without delay. But yesterday, the governor and the Martin Amewele-led House of Assembly resumed hostilities over the presentation of the 2025 appropriation bill. Fubara made his way to the Assembly quarters yesterday morning, but met a brick wall. The quarters are where the lawmakers live and hold their plenary sessions since their complex was gutted by fire almost 2 years ago. Addressing the reporters at the gate, the governor alleged that he was denied access despite his earlier communication with Speaker Amewele about his intention to present the budget. He said during a television interview that since the lawmakers live and work in the assembly, the governor ought to give them sufficient notice, making reference to the FCT minister now. Fubara, who lamented that himself and his team were denied access to the assembly, said, "We believe that the interest of the people should come first, and in view of the decision of the Supreme Court, we felt that there is every need for us to comply immediately to save the state, the workers, and the LGA workers, as well as the economy of the state." I really do not want us to dwell so much on this story because that is what we are using for our hashtag today. But, it tried to present the budget yesterday formally before the lawmakers, but it was denied access.
Yes, I watched what happened yesterday, and I also began to ask why. The Supreme Court has given a judgment which is in the favor of the 27 lawmakers. Why can't they just move on? Why can't they just move on in the interest
of the state?
They've
okay.
been,
let's save that till we get to our hashtag for today. Then we can really expatiate more on the recent developments in Rivers State.
All right, let me take mine. Flooding. Lagos warns residents against indiscriminate dumping of refuse, clogging drains. The Lagos State government yesterday urged residents to refrain from acts that can lead to flash flooding in the state with the coming of rains this month. The state listed such acts to include indiscriminate dumping of refuse in unauthorized places, clogging drains with silt or construction materials, erecting structures within and around drainage right-of-ways and setbacks. The Commissioner for the Environment and Water Resources, Mr. Tokunbo Wahab, gave the charge at the briefing on 2025 seasonal climate predictions and the socio-economic implications for the state. He enjoined residents to become whistleblowers by reporting cases of drainage blockages, dumping of waste into canals and other unauthorized places to our resident engineers across all local government and local council development areas and zero tolerance offices statewide. According to him, Lagos State is expected to experience above normal rainfall, and the same scenario is also expected to be experienced in the neighboring Ogun State. To ensure a flood-free and hygienic environment in the state, he said the ministry has embarked on an all-year-round drainage maintenance program for effective and efficient flood control, in addition to an efficient and sustainable solid waste management system. Let me stop it here, but the thrust is that they are enjoying residents, to be law-abiding when it has to do with the environment, take care of the environment, do not dump your waste indiscriminately. And he has enjoined everyone to become whistleblowers. So if you see something, you say something.
You know what my my own takeaway from this story is that when I was searching for it, I noticed that from 2019, you know, there has been an advice, you know, from the Lagos state government to the residents every year. I almost clicked on 2019. So it's the government will always do their own, and you know, and it's the bulk of it all is on us as the people. Government will do theirs. They will clear the drainages, but please, the rains are here. We can start feeling the rain. Yes, people should not dump their waste in drainages. You can see government's efforts, because if you continue to do that, you know, Lagos is prone to flooding. Please, it is for our general good. It's not about the government. Please.
Anyway, what is government and what is democracy? Democracy is a joint effort between the government and the governed. So if the government is trying, or if the government is responsible to have cleared the canals and drainages, and the citizens are not responsible on their part. Some now, not every citizen, are not responsible on their parts by clogging our channels and our canals with bottles, their garbage and everything. When your environment is flooded, do not shout Mr. Sanwo-Olu's name or the Deputy Governor's name or the Honorable Commissioner for the Environment's name, because whatever pains you are feeling now, it was actually inflicted upon yourself through your actions.
Exactly. So let me take my story. Tinubu overrules a Conde panel, backs Obasa to remain Lagos Speaker. President Bola Tinubu has resolved the leadership crisis in the Lagos State House of Assembly, backing the return of Mudashiru Obasa as Speaker, despite an earlier recommendation for his resignation. The resolution came after a meeting between Tinubu and all 40 lawmakers at the presidential villa in Abuja yesterday. The president's decision contradicts the recommendations of a panel he had set up to mediate the crisis. The panel, led by former Osun State Governor Chief Bisi Akande and former Ogun State Governor Olusegun Oshoba, along with the leadership of the Governance Advisory Council, had advised that Obasa should step down after being reinstated. It was reported that the panel initially recommended that Mojisola Miranda resign as Speaker to allow for Obasa's return, with the understanding that he would also resign shortly after, making way for a new Speaker from Lagos West to balance the state's political structure. On March 3, 2025, 49 days after Obasa's impeachment, Miranda resigned and was re-elected as Deputy Speaker. Obasa was then reinstated as Speaker in line with the agreement. However, contrary to the deal, Obasa adjourned the Assembly indefinitely and refused to resign as expected. Obasa had been removed on January 13, 2025 by 35 lawmakers who accused him of high-handedness, financial misappropriation and authoritarian leadership. Miranda replaced him but later resigned under pressure from party leaders.
Well, finally, the crisis rocking the Lagos State House of Assembly has been resolved. So I really do not think that we should dwell so much on that. And, it is politics. They know how they play it, and they have played it the way they wanted to play it. So we just hope that this will put a stop to what has been happening in the Lagos State House of Assembly. And we'll continue to wish them well so that they can actually settle down and, of course, provide dividends of democracy for their constituents. Okay, we'll quickly move to X, and Rivers State is still trending. We have the former governor and the current governor, you know, trading blames, as well as the lawmakers saying that Mr. Governor does not have the right to just come straight to the assembly complex and want to present the budgets. But, you know, I have a different version of what actually transpired according to the Nation newspaper. The Nation is here saying that the governor wrote the assembly and it was dated 11th March 2025. And it was personally signed by Fubara and addressed to the Speaker, Martin Amewele. And, you know, the FCT minister granted some interviews yesterday. The way Amana spoke, It's my personal opinion. I didn't like it.
I didn't like it.
The Supreme Court
didn't like it.
has given its judgments. And the only thing that is needed, if indeed you have the interest of Rivers State at heart, is for you to embrace peace.
Exactly. Why was he talking about impeachment and all of that?
That was a threat, if you ask me.
It wasn't nice.
But if he had sent in a letter, was he supposed to wait for a response?
Exactly. Joy is right, yeah.
Yes, yes. He should
coming.
have, they should have received, the governor should have waited to get an acknowledgement that, okay,
We have received your letter.
we have received your letter. It's just like, somebody say, oh, I was just passing by, I want to see you at home. I am not at home. You will get there and I will not open the door.
Were you invited?
No.
All right. We wish the people of Rivers State well, and we hope that at the end of the day, the interest of the people will be the major interest of the active players in Rivers politics, so that the state will continue to move on. What else do you want Mr. President to do? And the governor himself has indicated his readiness to comply with the judgment of the Supreme Court. We wish them well, like I said. So we'll take a very short break on the program. When we come back, we'll be talking about leadership in the country, and of course, a special program being put together by Transformational Conference Leadership, which is an initiative of Vision International Christian Ministries. That will be after this break on The Conversation.